And this is the reason I had to get the tail drag endorsement, is having built model aeroplanes all my life, I decided I want to build a full-size aeroplane. So I built one of these, the Xenos motor glider. And got together with a friend of mine, we did a half share each and built half each over 2.5 years, 2,500 hours. And we're now flying that. So,
whose design is that?
Sonics. So Sonics are based in Oshkosh in Wisconsin. They're actually on the airfield at Oshkosh. And they've sold about 2,000 kits now, I suppose. But the Xenos, which is the motor glider version, is the least common because not too many people want great big long wings. But my building partner's a glider pilot, and he wanted a self-launching glider, and I said, yeah, I'll go for that. Just something different. So yeah, so there it is going together in his garage, and so we.
So where do you keep it? Sweet.
That's a Gulder as well.
Okay.
Yeah. So this was built in Torrens Park, this aeroplane. So
that's out, no doubt.
Not quite. Yeah. But so that was finished in August last year, and then I got to be the test pilot on it, and that was its second test flight over Gulder there.
That's why I had a bit of water.
Yeah, yeah, that was August last year. We completed the test flight program over a couple of months, and then I got my mate endorsed on it, and so we both fly it now, and it's done about 50 hours of flying.
Single seat, was it?
Two seat, side by side. It's a little bit distorted, the telephoto there, but it is actually side by side. And it doesn't look like it's got very long wings there, but it's a 45-foot wingspan. It's actually quite a big, and it's an ultralight. It's actually a big ultralight.
What engine's in it?
It's got a Aero V, which is a VW conversion, 80 horsepower, and it complies with the ultralight category, which is 544. We're waiting for 600 kilos because 544 you can't really fly a dual. It's a bit overweight, but it flies fine at 600 kilos. I tested it at 600 kilos so that when the new regs come in, it's all done ticking the box.
Save an engine. How long could you start for?
24 to 1 glide ratio. So about 250, 300 feet a minute rate of descent, and give you an idea, from 8,000 feet it plummets to the ground in 30 minutes. Yeah. So it is actually not a bad glider. It's not as good as a pure glider, of course, but for something with an engine in the front and wheels and things sticking out, it's not bad. It's not bad at all. Very efficient, and what my mate's been doing is he's been doing sort of motor gliding, basically porpoise cruising and things. So you basically set a low power setting with a very low fuel flow, and when you've got lift you go faster, and when you've got sink you go slower, and you basically maintain the same altitude plus or minus a few hundred feet, and it becomes very efficient. He did a 5.5-hour flight the other day and burned 41 litres of fuel. So it's about 8-9 litres an hour.
Cost of fuel. It's almost like your aerodynamic fuselage as well, isn't it?
Yeah, it's all straight lines, but it actually looks quite pretty.
It's a bit like that sitting in the garage.
How many man-hours to build it?
2,500.
Okay.
Well, we're first-time builders. If we did it again, we'd probably save 500 at least off that, because we know what we're doing now. First time you do it, you sort of check everything 3 times before you cut anything.
What sort of speed does it do?
To go cross country, probably about 85, 90 knots.
Okay.
But just loitering around, you're probably around 55, 60. Just if you're just trying to cruise around at minimum sink rate, about 50 knots.
The stall speed?
38.
Right. Who took that photo?
That was taken out of that tiger moth that we just saw earlier, Steve Johnson's tiger moth. And I just stood up on his wing and got a few shots. And there's actually a YouTube video that was taken at the same time. If you Google Xenos first flight or the second flight, I think there's actually a video that you can look at. Yeah, so that's pretty much me for the time. Approaching retirement now as far as airline flying and things. I want to start thinking about other things. So I've got my GA aeroplane, which is very nice, and what I'd like to do now is sort of cut back a bit from the full-time flying, because it takes me away too much. I'm away about probably 200 days a year out of Adelaide. So,
come kayaking with us.
Yeah. Well, I could if I get the day off, but so I'm just looking at maybe trying to go part-time, and if the company's not partial with that, then I may have to leave fairly soon. But things to do in retirement. Certainly build another aeroplane. I really enjoyed that, so I will build another aeroplane at some point. and I may get back into instructing again on GA. I don't actually have a GA instructor's rating. I've got an Air Force instructor's rating, I've got an airline instructor's rating, but they won't give me a GA one on the basis that I've got to go and do the course. That's bureaucracy for you. Yeah. So that's what we're looking at down the road.